Question 21. We have here two reactions, and these two reactions they will give me, or they will give us the observation which we should detect from this reaction. The reaction number one, it's between sulfuric acid and potassium chloride, and it will give us a fume. This fume, if it's bubbled into aqueous potassium iodide solution, what's the observation we can find? So let's write the question number one, which is the reaction number one, H2SO4. If it reacted with KCl, potassium chloride, it will give us KHSO4 plus HCl. So the fumes which we are talking about it here is H2SO4, HCl. These fumes is colorless fumes. Okay, this colorless fumes if it's bubbled in potassium iodide. Okay, so what is the color we can find? HCl here, HCl with potassium iodide with HCl. Okay, if it under this condition, this is not a redox reaction, as HCl is a not good oxidizing agent to oxidize I-1 to Bi2 to give us a brown color. So the HCl is not oxidizing or not strong oxidizing agent for potassium iodide under this condition. So we don't have here any change in color, as HCl is a colorless, because HCl cannot oxidize the iodine from iodine -1 to be iodine 2. So here we are not talking about any change in color. This is the first reaction. Second reaction is potassium iodide. Okay, if it dissolved in aqueous ammonia, potassium iodide is Ki. If it dissolved in NH3, it should give us, or should ionize to give us, potassium and iodine. Potassium and iodine. This potassium and iodine, it's potassium chloride. Potassium chloride, it will give us potassium and chlorine. This potassium and chlorine dissolved in aqueous ammonia, and this is then added to aqueous silver nitrate. So if the chlorine added to AgNO3, of course it will give us AgCl. HCl, as we know, it's a white precipitate. White precipitate. But this white precipitate, as still we have here ammonia, and this white precipitate is water, so ammonia, it can dissolve in ammonia. So the white precipitate initially prepared, and we can see it, or we can observe it, and directly the silver chloride, which is a white precipitate dissolved in NH3 and give us a colorless solution. So here the first reaction, it will give us a colorless fumes, and the other one is colorless solution. Which one is the correct answer? Here is brown solution and colorless solution. No. B is brown solution and white precipitate. No. C is colorless solution. Yeah, C is correct, because both of them, they will give us colorless solution, or there is no change after the series of reactions in both of them. So the result should be colorless. Okay, thank you.